are y'all doing? Jose Cantu, the Phoenix Bookstore here. So today we're going to talk about The Greatest Secret. This book blew my mind away, guys. I mean, it is amazing. The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Let's get right into it. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button so that we can bring you more free content. The Greatest Secret, guys. I can talk about this book forever. I'm going to have to cut it short for this video. As you could probably tell by now, I really like self-help books. I like The Secret, which I spoke about in another video. And when I ran into this book, I was really excited about reading it. However, I thought it was going to be somewhat like The Secret, which, yes, of course, it relates. But wow, I mean, the author did a great job just going really deep, real in depth with this book. I mean, it is amazing. So I'm just going to mention some points from this book. I actually listened to the book on Libro FM. So if you're interested in reading this book, if you want to purchase it from us, I'll go ahead and put the link down below in our description. And also, if you want to get it through Libro FM, I personally do enjoy having the actual book more than listening to it, but just because of convenience, just for convenience purposes, I decided to listen to this one just because I could be doing something else, like, I could be driving, taking a walk, or whatever it may be, doing something else, and I can be listening to the book. So that's why I decided to go with Libro FM this time. For this book. But it's amazing, guys. I mean, we're going to talk about, have you ever thought, oh my goodness, this book is... So number one, right off the back, you are not who you think you are. We are not who we think we are. To paraphrase the author a little bit, she says that our body is not us. Your body is not you. You are aware of your body, but you are not your body. So why is this important, and what does this go to? Well, it goes to that we are not who we believe we are. Okay, so our body is simply an instrument or a vehicle, as the book says, that we are using. However, it is not us. It is not who we truly are. Our true selves is awareness, and that in itself just... wow, it just blew my mind away just thinking about that. It's stuff that I've thought about before. So if you were one of those persons that have ever thought, maybe, what if we never die? What if we, if people who believe it, it's kind of relates a little bit to a spiritual thing, right? To sometimes you've heard, we are not bodies with souls, we are souls with bodies, things like that. So that's kind of where this is leading to. But yes, that's how it starts off. The author does a really good job at setting the stage, and she starts saying that we are not who we think we are, right? And wow, just that alone, if you really think about it, it's mind-blowing. So, right, some other points that I got from this book and I got a lot of them, guys. Like I said, I could go on forever. She starts talking about how our true self, our natural self, is happiness and joy. And nothing negative, nothing bad. All those things come from the mind, from our thoughts. That voice that we hear inside is not our voice. It's just things that have happened to us in the past, negative things that have been building up through the years. Every time that something bad happens, you relate that feeling to something that happened way back when, that's inside of you. But it is not who you are, and it is not your natural state. Our natural state is happiness, is joy. That's why when little babies are born, you'll see them, and yes, they cry and things like that. They're happy beings because they have no negativity whatsoever. We still haven't put things in their mind. They still haven't been able to learn, right? They haven't learned that. They haven't been told they haven't been given any problems in their mind. They're just free. They're completely free of any negative thoughts. And so that is our natural self. It also talks about human being versus infinite being, that we are really not human beings, we are infinite beings, meaning that since we are not our body, when our body dies, we do not die, we keep living as we existed before we were even born. So, very interesting point. I have also thought about that before. I've thought about, like I mentioned earlier, that we never die, we never truly die. It's just a phase of life, I guess, or it's just this is a certain form of our lives, and then we will change forms, and I don't know. That's just something that I personally got from it. Another point that I got from this book that was very interesting is that, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, I have, that life is like a dream, or that maybe, I don't know if you've ever thought that, I wonder if this is actually happening, or if this is a dream, right? Like sometimes, I know I've felt that way, and sometimes we don't want to ask people, sometimes we don't even want to mention it to somebody because they think we're crazy or something. But now from reading this book, I see that according to the author, life is like a dream, right? It's like everything around us does not exist. Everything, the wall behind me, the books, everything that we see is not real. It's a figment of our imagination. It's what our brain perceives it to be, and everybody else can see it also, but that's only because that's what our mind is telling us. So it's very, wow. I mean, it's something else, this book. But and I was having a little bit of trouble there. I believe it's chapter 9 when it starts talking about how life is just a dream, and how nothing is, that everything, even though you can, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? I mean, you could touch it. If you could touch something and feel it, and everybody else can too, well then doesn't that make it real? But then the author does a really good job at explaining what it is that she means, and explaining how in a dream you also can feel things, and you can also feel all this stuff, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, that's true. In a dream I felt, somebody punches me or they pinch me or something, I can feel it. If I fall, I feel it, and it's not real. And I could touch things in my dream, I feel them. It's not real. Another interesting point that I got from this is when the author speaks about not resisting negative emotions, negative thoughts, things of that sort. In regards to emotions, when we feel an emotion, it is not us. We are simply aware of that emotion. So it's important to understand that if we feel angry, you do not say, I am angry. You say, maybe I feel anger going through me. And when you do this, it helps you get rid of that past anger that I was talking about earlier, that you have there from your early childhood or from somewhere down along the line. And so it grabs some of that and it releases, and it gets out of your system faster rather than resisting it. If you resist the feeling, the emotion, it only makes it worse and you experience more of it. And that was very interesting to me because, I've seen it, I guess the same concept and the same principle I've heard from other people. For example, from reading the Bible, you learn that Jesus said, if they strike you on one side, turn the other cheek, or if they strike you on one cheek, turn the other cheek, something like that, right? And a lot of people are like, oh no, somebody hits me, I'm not gonna be turning the other cheek, I'm gonna hit them. And I understand, right? And I don't believe that's what Jesus is trying to say. Why? Because Jesus spoke in parables, right? So what he's saying is that if somebody does something bad to you, like somebody sends off a negative emotion towards you, or treats you in a bad way, that type of thing, then instead of resisting it, like the book talks about, instead of fighting it, simply accept it and then let it go. But understand that is not you. You are aware of that emotion going to you, and then it leaves. And I think in our culture, in the Hispanic culture, It's a very, very common. I remember my grandmother, my grandparents, and also my parents saying on different occasions, whenever somebody would do something bad, right, or they would steal from us, or you know, they were fighting, or they're just doing something bad. Right away, as a child, as a young person, I would wanna go and do something about it physically, go fight or something like that. And what would my grandparents, or what would my parents say? Leave it to God. They would say, "Déjaselo a Dios, mijo. Déjaselo a Dios." Right? What does that mean? It means leave it to God. Now, it's kind of like the same. It's sort of the same concept and the same principles that this book is talking about receiving that, accepting that emotion, and understanding that that is not you. You are not angry. You are not jealous. You are not envious. You are not sad. You are simply feeling this emotion and letting it leave your body, right? And that is an amazing thing. So this book is full of amazing knowledge. It is spectacular. I mean, I am at a loss for words here. I mean, it's amazing. And if you want to be a happier person, if you want to let go of all negativity and of all bad emotions and just live a happier life, this book is for you. I highly recommend it. It is going to make you, it is going to change your life. It will change your life for real. I mean, this book is, and the author does a great job of not only talking about these things, but also explaining in great depth of how to practice reaching these techniques, practicing these techniques and reaching the level of consciousness that she's talking about. So it's an amazing book, guys. I mean, she really spoke about a lot more. There's a lot more in that book than what I just spoke about in this short video. But like I said, I could talk forever. I could talk forever about this book because I really enjoyed it. I mean, I love it. So like I mentioned before, if you like these type of books, and if you want to be a happier person, if you want to enjoy life to the fullest and not fear death and not fear anything really in life, because you understand that nothing is forever except our awareness, except who we truly are, our being, which is not human, right? Human being versus infinite being. If you want to be that way, then yes, read this book. And if you don't, we'll read it anyways because it'll help you out. Thank you guys for watching.